So I don't know still what my plans going forward are. By the way, just pause the video once again to see everything I use on this build. It's basically my old dev, but I changed a few things on my gear, just a few things, and then completely changed my packs tree and even my main tree once I realized how to design my main tree to get everything I wanted for it. I don't know if there'll be any more Outrider videos after this one at all, and if there are, how frequently they'll be, because personally I am just bored, honestly, of playing the game. It's just, like, I've been ranting a lot and criticizing other players and going on Reddit, all this crap, which I think was all justified, by the way, but at the same time I'm like, well, now I have to really be honest. I'm getting bored. It's the same trial over and over and over and over again, the same arbiters. I'll say straight up, by the way, I'm currently looking, some guy actually was able to mod my pistols to make them do a crap load more damage, but he explained, of course I'm not going to give out his name, but he explained he couldn't make them do like billions without potentially breaking my character, because I would like to do that, honestly, for tier 40 especially, because I'm at tier 30 on all of my dudes right now. I haven't really bothered getting to tier 40 on anyone yet. I've seen how it is, though, and I mean, I've seen nothing really changes anyway as you get up to tiers for the most part, as long as you keep your gear the same level and as long as you have the same build. But yeah, I actually have modded pistols. Again, I don't care about saying any of this. If people get a hold, because again, if I get banned from this game, I don't care, because I'm barely playing it anymore. I just don't care. It's just so, they've screwed their players so much. And like I said, I encourage you to use mods too if you want to. But I'm trying to see if someone can actually give me a modded pistol to just one tap, because I'm so bored with the trailers, the trials, that I just want to one tap all three of the arbiters and Ocreal and move on from them, because I don't even want to deal with fighting them over and over and over again to get the little bit of resources to level up your gear and go through the horrible RNG to get a different build that they might just nerf again later, or just nerf one thing on it and change again. They won't compensate their players at all. They won't unlock mods. Oh my gosh, I'm ranting now. We've already been through all this. Let me just talk about this build, since I know that was the point of this video. So I decided to change my dev back to the Superman dev, in a sense, if you remember, because what's strange is so hilarious. Again, they talk about balance in this game, but yet the no cooldown grav leap build I showed you is still in the game. Now, they nerfed it in a sense because they nerfed first things first, so you can no longer get like 0.2 second cooldown, but you can easily still get under a second cooldown if you go that route. I don't use first things first anymore because it's just not worth it anyway, and because I still want to use my guns. But as you saw, I got grav leap down to 1.3 seconds, so basically a 1 second cooldown on grav leap, and endless mass now. Very good. I decided, let's get rid of boulder dash and put golem on, because I just don't use boulder dash hardly at all once my cooldowns for grav leap and endless mass are that tiny. So I decided to get golem back, and rockfall, I want to say it looks cool, but again, this build is subject to change. By the way, what you're seeing right now, I'm a level off on my helmet, so this build's slightly better than what it is too, because for damage, because it's not at max gear score level, so it's losing out on a little bit more anomaly power too right now. And that helmet also has the Thunder's Legacy and stuff, so those mods are doing less damage currently. So honestly, the damage you see and how fast I clear the Arbiter, it's not awesome, but I think I do it in under 3 minutes. And with all the nerfs, I think this isn't bad, especially because if you're paying attention to the changes I made, I basically turned this dev into a more tanky dev and a more support dev. This is like the ultimate tank support again. Because thanks to all the cooldowns, I'm like, you know what? We go the full cooldown route and still use Despair. We are essentially just, combined with the debuff on Endless Mass 2, we just debuff the entire field constantly, and the boss constantly. And once again, with the come one, come all in the PAX tree, combined with Armored Division, we are, as you will see with the Arbiter fight coming up here, we just interrupt him for days. And this is why this build is so good, because for dealing with the Arbiter now, because it's a longer fight. Granted, he does... It's not way longer, but it is longer because my focus damage is less. But I can interrupt him for so freaking long that I don't even have to deal. Once again, I found a way to not even have to deal with his stupid dark armaments on my dev now. And also, he does get it off sometimes, but when he does, this is a much better Devastator for handling it versus the same build when I used the bottom tree and had much higher cooldowns. For base, at least, on Grav Leap and Boulder Dash. Because basically, with a 1 second cooldown on Grav Leap and the double jump too, whenever he does that, I just simply keep gravity leaping him and still shooting him with my gun to get the sandstorm stuff going on, which also heals me a little bit. And I just Grav Leap, run back, I still dodge and run around during that mayhem. But then I keep Grav Leaping during it too. And I'll take damage, yeah, but then the Grav Leap Life Absorption actually is still a key mod for that reason. It just keeps healing me off with such a low cooldown on it. And then, of course, you're invincible during Grav Leap. And, of course, if you really want to cheese the boss, you can, as I've said before, any Devastator can just stay up forever in Grav Leap, essentially, during that phase, which I encourage you to do as well if you want to just not even deal with it at all. But yeah, this dude is better for handling him now. You'll see in this fight, though, he never even gets it off because I'm just stun locking him to death. And the come one, come all is useful because I started to notice whenever he goes Super Saiyan, as you see here, the moment I hit him with Gravity Leap, it takes it off him, and then I can immediately Endless Mass him again, which slows him and debuffs him and staggers him again. So this is like a super interrupt debuff support dev, I think. It's a very good as a support tank. So very, very good dev build, I think. Again, the damage is nerfed because they nerfed Despair and I'm not going bottom tree anymore. But it's not bad, and his damage with ads and dealing with crowds is still awesome because they buffed the Marshall set, and I have a 1 second cooldown on Endless Mass, which is really fun sometimes, because you can just Endless Mass, everything, and then just Grav Leap, and they're all dead with how much you're sharing damage at that point. So yeah, I just wanted to comment about the build changes. The problem, of course, though, is that they're probably going to nerf it in the name of fixing and balance again. Because I bet they're going to claim later, well, we didn't intend for the cooldown on Armored Division to go to scale that high. The math's not adding up. So we got to change that, even though we left it in the game for so long now, and there's so many players now using it at this point. And when they do, of course, they're not going to compensate you. You'll just be forced to completely change your build again, relying on this horrendous, boring loop of grinding forever. Was it First Descendant, I think, was in my other video, the name of the other game that might be coming. So I encourage you to check that game out. I'm going to be checking it out, see if it comes to Xbox. I'm open also to new game suggestions because I'm going to be wheeling my channel off Outriders right now. Expect me sometimes, it'll all depend on, because I'm always going to have because I love the core gameplay still, probably keep playing at some point. Just running a trial sometimes, maybe helping someone, a noob in the game, but I'm in no rush to grind though, honestly. I don't care. So, it's boring. This game is boring, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Because what you're seeing me do is all you do, as usual. It is so boring. They encourage you to do old content. They're like, oh, we'll do Expeditions again. Dude, we had enough of Expeditions. That's why we wanted World Slayer to change that. I wouldn't mind playing Expeditions over again, too. But again, because there's way more variety to choose from. Because they added so much new content with World Slayer to give you options. But they didn't. Like, my intention was to blow through that content, yes. But then to keep playing, I intended to have a huge variety of missions to choose. as I grind it in this game. But there is no variety. It's just this.